I went to the theater and watched Wild. And I'm going to give it a quick review. But to help me review this movie is me from June of 2013 in my review of Into the Wild. Well, after a long time off, I'm back doing movie reviews. This movie focuses around a woman, played by Reese Witherspoon, who is attempting to hike the PCT, or the Pacific Crest Trail, in an attempt to find herself and to become a better person. Great. We start off with a poem by Lord Byron, and the narration is floating text over the screen. Ordering. Okay, so maybe it wasn't Lord Byron, but in this movie there was a lot of floating quote text on the screen. Every time she got to a check-in station, there's a journal that people write notes to each other to inspire the next group, and she would write a quote that would appear on the screen. She is woefully unprepared, has basically no idea what she's doing, brings the wrong fuel for her camp stove, brings too much gear, and goes by herself when most other people go in groups. We find out that she's doing this to honor her mother, who died of cancer and is played by Laura Dern in many, many flashbacks. And yes, Laura Dern died of cancer, because all Laura Dern movies must have cancer. It's a rule. This movie's pretty boring, honestly. It's a lot of her talking to herself and reading passages from a book. Much like I did during my review of Into the Wild. Most of the movie, we don't really know why she's doing this, but we finally get enough flashbacks to tell us that she ruined her marriage by cheating on her husband a bunch of times, sleeping with anyone to ask, becoming a heroin addict, and burning all the bridges among her friends. So she's doing this partly to punish herself and partly to reinvent herself as a new person. Cheers for nudity! Overall, I found this one to be boring, and I probably would have stopped watching it if I was watching at home instead of in a theater with somebody else. Yeah, I just kind of powered through this one, hoping something would happen, but it rarely did. At least Into the Wild, he had interesting conversations and met people that furthered his life. But in this, she, at the end, even doesn't feel like she's accomplished what she was hoping to achieve, and that this whole hike didn't reinvent her in the way she was hoping. But 9 years down the road, her life is happy, so maybe it did help her. I kind of wish I was watching a movie of the next 9 years of her life, though. And then had flashbacks to this instead of watching this and having flashbacks to her screwing up her life. But it has 91% on Rotten Tomato and everyone else loves it, so I'm wrong. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time.